on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Gimme Them Keys. It's a little bit overdue, but I'm back. Today we're in an E46 330. Now, it's not your regular old typical 330. First of all, it's not a ZHP, but it has a ZHP swap. You pull the engine out of a wrecked ZHP, put it in there, it's good to go. ZHP and a regular 330, pretty much the same engine, but the ZHP has more aggressive gears, and it gives you 10 more horsepower and lets you rev up to 6,800 versus 65. But that's not all. It's also supercharged. It's got an ESS Twin Screw supercharger on it. Say that 10 times fast. ESS Twin Screw supercharger, and it's making about 345 wheel horsepower. That's pretty fast. I mean, the ZHP and the 330s is like the cheaper version of the E46 M3. Now, of course, you don't have the power, but you still have the great handling and the reliability. And now that this one's supercharged, it's probably going to be as fast as the E46 M3. So we're about to find out as soon as this traffic lets up. But I do have to be a little bit careful. It did rain a little while ago, but it's got Continental Extreme tires on it. They're pretty good in the rain, so I think I'll be fine. I won't go crazy, but I do want to see what it feels like. And there's another reason I want to see what this car feels like. It actually has an eBay clutch. I know, it's crazy. Okay, now first thing I noticed, this thing, I'm not even flooring it yet, it's got a little pep to it. That's the thing about twin screw superchargers, is they have a lot more torque than your regular centrifugal, or whatever, however you say it. And this definitely gives you a little kick. But the eBay clutch, now the reason I want to drive this with the eBay clutch, because I need a clutch for my turbo E36 build, and I know a lot of people do budget E36 clutches like eBay stuff, and I have drove a supercharged E36 with the eBay clutch. It was the FX Stage 3, and the clutch is good. It handles a lot of power, but the engagement sucks. When he told me to try this brand, I can't remember right now, I'll put it in the description, but this actually feels like OEM, so this is actually pretty good. Now, I have let this car idle for a while, so it is warmed up, so we're gonna get straight to business. And this road is pretty dry. It definitely puts you in your seat, and it feels pretty good. It's got a loud Corsa exhaust. I'm pretty sure it's straight pipe, but with the Corsa muffler, because this thing is extremely loud. The windows are up, but trust me, it's loud. Clutch feels good. I actually really like this clutch. I think I will get this clutch. This thing's got some pep to it, dude. Now, I've only drove one E46 M3, so it's kind of hard for me to remember, because it was a couple years ago too, so it's hard for me to compare it right now, because off my head I can't exactly say if it does feel the same, but this does have a lot of pep. So far, this car is really fun. We got some turns coming up. I'm gonna see how it handles, but so far pretty good. And this clutch, easy. This car is so loud. Now I'm burning up right now. You can probably see the sweat beading off my forehead right now, because I got the windows up. Normally when I do videos, I have the windows down. You get a lot of wind noise and the loud car. I'm trying to let you guys hear me, but I gotta put them down for a minute, and I'm just gonna let the car talk. Oh my God. only thing it is missing, transmission-wise, he didn't swap the transmission, so it's a 5-speed instead of a 6-speed in the CHP. But it's fine. Shifter on it too. It feels really good and really easy to grip and put the car wherever you need to. I like this shifter a lot. This thing's so loud, but it handles so smooth. You know, I gotta say, with this supercharger, it probably is pretty comparable to E46 M3. Send me a parts list. I gotta remember. I don't even remember what this car has, but I just know it's supercharged, and that's why I'm driving it. God. One of my favorite turns. AKA True Automotive. This is like his side piece. He used to, I think he used to daily this car. Now he dailies like a wagon because it has more room. And this car is sick. I don't know if he's selling it or not, but this car is sick. So let's see. Yeah, ESS TS1 Twin Screw with the 78mm pulley, E85, the clutch, 42-pound Bosch green giant injectors, Cosmos cold air intake, and DGR Coilovers, and Synchro Rtabs, which I also have my E36. Shout out to David Green. He makes awesome Rtabs for E36, E46, and they're not just like your typical rubber bushing that kind of like brittles down and breaks. It's like a solid piece, and in it has a pivot, so it never really wears down. I had mine for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, and my Rtabs are still fine on my E36. So it's like, they're a little bit more expensive than typical ones, of course, but you like never have to replace them. So it's one and done. All right, sorry neighbors. God, this thing is so loud. You know, this thing reminds me of the S54 E36. Because that car was about as loud, it handled pretty great. Now, I don't think it handles as great as that one, but this is pretty good. Like, this is, it shocked me. This is a great car. So I guess the real question is this car, of course it's not better than an E46 M3, but the value of it, is the value worth it? If you can't afford an E46 M3, or you don't want to pay for the maintenance of an E46 M3, and especially if you don't work on cars yourself, is this a good substitute? And I'd say yes. Now, of course, like I said, this one's supercharged. A non-supercharged one will have maybe, you know, 100, 150 wheel horsepower less, but handling-wise, reliability-wise, it's still going to be a great car. So if you're looking for a fun BMW, an E46 330 is a great car. But this one's supercharged, so this is an awesome car. This thing is fast, man. This thing is, I'm pretty sure this thing's faster than my M3. Like, I think I would get maybe like a two-car gap on my M3. Like, this thing is pretty fast. Of course, my M3 ain't supercharged, but just wait. One of these days, I'm gonna get my revenge on everybody. All y'all that got me in the past, I'm coming back. I've also never had DGR coilovers, or actually I think this is the first car I rode in a car with DGR coilovers, and they feel pretty good. They're not like crazy bumpy, they handle great, they're not, they just feel good. I think it's a good substitute for some more expensive coilovers. Like, there's always stuff out there for a budget, and just because it's cheaper, I don't want to say it's not better or not worth it, but I mean, get what you can afford. And there are stuff out there that's cheaper than like KW and Broadway and Fortunato that's still great. Like, these feel pretty great. So if I was shopping for coilovers on a budget, I'd give DGR a look, because I like the way these feel. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Just one little quick ride, but I do have an open highway, so I am gonna end this video off right here. Oh my God, man. Oh my God, this thing is fast. Thanks for watching. Let me go ahead and park this car before the cops come. See you in the next one. Deuces. Twin screw with the ESS. It's got an ESS twin screw. It's got an ESS twin screw supercharger on it. It's got an ESS twin screw. It's got an ESS twin screw. It's got an ESS twin screw supercharger on it. Say that 10 times fast. ESS twin screw supercharger.